it's time to be up with the white and gold. He is GATechJon Watts. I am Jeremy, the Impact York. We want to talk about all things tech. It's going to be a short show tonight. But first, as always, how are you, John?
It's been an interesting week. Got one sick kid and one kid who turned 18. My sister's back in the hospital,
Hey.
and things just go. No, it's a roller coaster.
Hey, but the upside of your life, the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets, right?
Oh, of course, it was no, it's been pretty good. It was we did lose this weekend, but overall, I mean, for the season, it's been better than what we had in the last 4 or 5 years. So overall, it was good. I mean, to see what coach was able to do in his first year, it's pretty much better than what the other coach could do in any of his previous 4 years. So it's all in all, it was good. And at the beginning of our show, our first show this season, I did say 6 wins, and hey, look there.
Yeah, I'll give you the kudos on that because on our Hunker Down UGA show on Monday, I gave all three of us credit for predicting the winner of the game. I think I gave you credit for saying it was going to be pretty close. Or you thought it was going to be kind of close. I think you said like 10 points.
Yeah.
I gave Jake credit for saying that it was going to be very vanilla coming from the Bulldogs. And I gave me credit for almost being dead on, and I thought I was closest to all of them. But
probably.
But I'm going to go back to that first. It's a series of easy questions, mostly yes or no answers will probably work. Did Georgia Tech lose on the scoreboard?
No.
I mean, on the
mean,
scoreboard?
Oh, you mean on the score?
On the actual scoreboard. Okay.
Yes, my bad. I was thinking that, but not like straight up.
Right. Yeah, you're getting ahead of it. So you're getting ahead of me. You know where I'm going.
I know where you go.
You think overall, on the night or on the field that they lost the game?
I mean, this one's kind of a little bit of yes, a little bit of no. I mean, they definitely did. I mean, it was even closer than what I had predicted, and I mean, what anyone really kind of predicted. I mean, I know that UGA played vanilla, as Jake called it, clean old fashioned vanilla. But
like store brand vanilla, but yeah.
But that could be. They were kind of not really expecting to have to play too hard. Maybe they're looking for this weekend, because I mean it's been a pretty long time since we won against them. I mean it was 1998 the last time we won them in Atlanta.
That's before you got here. That's before you went.
Yeah, that was our first year of high school.
Yeah.
And I
Which
think
is amazing seeing as how I'm only 26.
Yeah, I know, right? We're advanced for a year. I think 2004 might have been the only other last time that we beat them. That was in Athens.
Yeah,
somewhere around there. Because I remember the shirt that I used to wear that said "How the West was stung." But yeah, I mean, overall, I mean, it was being a little bit more. Have been close. I mean, one last touchdown for them would have been really close. I mean, overall, I mean, it was, yeah, I mean, good for us. I mean, to keep it close as it was, I mean, it really could have been a lot worse, to be honest. And again, like I said, I don't know if that's just we aren't quite there to try to make that contention, or they just really held off. But either way, it was good to see. I'll take it.
Well, I'll get in. This is the last question I was going to ask in that series is, do you think Georgia Tech lost in recruiting on Saturday?
No, I don't. I think we don't really have a problem in the recruiting. I mean, we had over what we've done over the last several years of 3 win season and a 4-win season, and
that scheme.
Yeah, and the same what we're doing, and that was under a different coach, and a lot of our players are transfers. I mean, our quarterback is a transfer. So I think, and I just read an article today that we offered a graduate transfer. So we're still getting people in. So I don't think that it definitely didn't hurt it. I think even with the 6 wins, and maybe it improved it a little bit. It's still, we're not gonna be nowhere to be able to contend with the guys up north, but
Not yet.
I think there's still room for those players because if Georgia recruits, they can only have so much on their team. So there'll still be room for the people who don't want to do at Auburn or don't want to be fifth or sixth string at Georgia, or those guys who don't want to be second string. They want to have some play time.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, if anything, I think maybe helped a little bit for where the season went and keeping a score within 8 points against the number one team.
Exactly. I remembered what it was that I gave myself credit for. It's for agreeing with you that it was going to be close, agreeing with Jake that Georgia was going to play a very basic scheme, they weren't going to do a lot of frilly stuff. And because of that, they were going to get a little too cute. And this was going to be a lot closer than I thought it would be, and a lot closer than most people thought it would be. And that, I said it on that show, I will say it again. I think Kirby and Georgia in general, mostly Georgia in general, but I think Kirby actually kept this on the rails. They tried to get a little too cute. They did. This is words out of his mouth now. They let Georgia Tech play Georgia Tech football, and it almost come back around. They only lost by one score. They only lost by 8 points. Tech can easily do that, and I think they got a little too cute. They realized little brother was getting a little too close, and they eventually just had to make that massive stand there towards the end to keep this from getting out of hand.
Yeah, I definitely agree. We went up 7-0, and we were driving, and should have made that 14-0, except for the bad play on fourth down. It could have really started momentum really flying our way in the beginning, and I think maybe that probably woke them up a little bit too. Is okay, we just about went down 2 touchdowns to this, 6 and whatever team. So they probably woke them up a little bit, and it's like, okay, we can't completely take our foot off the gas. We still got to be there, not ruin ourselves at the last game of the season against these guys and ruin our undefeated season and our SEC records. Imagine what a loss to Georgia Tech would be going into the game against Alabama this weekend.
Mm-hmm. It would help the argument that I'm going to have to explain because Jake only gave me about a minute and a half to make my pitch, and probably caught a lot of backlash. So I want a chance to explain it because I do have to retract a little bit of what I said about my Final Four prediction because I forgot about a team, and I'm so sorry I forgot about that team. But yeah, your Tech. After one, you're up 10-7 on Georgia. Okay, well Georgia's a slow starter. Sometimes you can be 2, but hey, 10-7 is the first lead you've had in a while. Then it's 21-13 at the half. Okay, well once again that's only 8 points. That's not bad. Georgia outscores you 10-0 in the third. You're like, ouch, man, we got to do something to get back in this. But then you outscore them 10-0 in the fourth. So you can say it's because the third, fourth, fifth stringers. You can say, bless his heart, Chaz Chambliss was the top defender in the fourth quarter. But shout out Chaz, he did a fantastic job. I always defend that kid, and he knows it. But doesn't matter. Level of talent in the NCAA is level of talent, and you shut Georgia out in the fourth. They shut you out in the third, but you shut them out in the fourth. You put 10 on the board that they didn't answer. They actually held on to the 31 points they had for an entire quarter to beat you by 8. So you almost put them in a really bad situation.
Yeah, definitely. We looking at that second and third quarter, and we scored 3 points total. Once again, we did that 2-quarter scheme where we put up the points in the first and we tried to come back in the fourth, and then we didn't build anything there in the middle. Definitely, we could have capitalized a little bit better and not let them have that middle of the game, could have made it even closer, or dare I say maybe win the way they were playing. It's just little things you kind of look here and there, but yeah, I definitely like that. I mean, how it went. I mean, we definitely made it a lot closer. Like we said it again, we made it close. And it was good. Just a little bit here and there. It could have been a lot different game, I think.
Oh yeah. I mean,
It
because
is.
you just look at stats. I'm gonna breeze through the Georgia stuff real quick. It's
Yeah.
not like Carson Beck lit the world on fire. 13 for 20 for 175. I understand a touchdown, but he did throw an interception. I think he tried to force a ball that he didn't need to, but that's something he's got to learn.
Yeah.
And I also know they ran the ball a lot. Kendall Milton, I don't know, turned on his turbo button or something like that, and you guys had no way to stop Kendall Milton, and you didn't. 156 yards on 18 carries and 2 scores. But Dejon Edwards, he had to get a touchdown by punching one in because he only had 55 yards.
Yep.
Dominic Lovett was their top receiver with 68 points. You look up and down the chart of that and you go, well, where's your star tight end? Where's Lab McConkey? Where's all these names that we've said all year long about the Georgia Bulldogs, and they always have these great receivers, and always, even whether you know their name or not, it seems like it was such a team effort by Tech that outside of Milton, nobody really had that great of a day against them.
Yeah, and definitely when I saw, at the start of the game when they did the injury report, and it said Bowers was not playing, McConkey was not playing. Well, this might be a little bit more interesting than normally you would think it would be.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like I said, I mean, early on they had, you several fumbles they had to recover themselves. On talking about the Bulldogs, and we were lucky to catch them and get on one turnover on there early on. That helped out, but it was just not in the normal Georgia we were used to seeing all year.
No. And before I get into Tech stats, you look at this Georgia defense, and that's a front 7, front 8 that can rush anybody they want. They can pressure anybody they want. They've got the guys to defend. And you look, and this offensive line that has had its issues this year for Georgia Tech, they've actually been pretty good here down the stretch for the most part. They only gave up 2 sacks to Georgia, where the Georgia defenders are probably 1.5 to 2 times as big as the offensive linemen for Tech, and yet they only gave up 2 sacks. That has something to do with your quarterback and something to do with the scheme a little bit, but I think this is testament to what Key is building right now.
Yeah, I definitely agree there. I mean, Georgia's, they always have those, big guys and strong runners to kind of go through there. I think that's kind of one of the things, coming in, like, hey, we got a plan for this, and you're going to expect to come hard and to kind of break through there. And so, to only have 2 sacks, that's why. One of those big reasons why it's close.
Now granted, Tech didn't get any, but
I mean,
they were still pressuring. There were still tackles for a loss. There were tackles in the backfield. It's just they didn't get the clean sack, which looks like such a prettier stat. Sack's kind of overrated too, by the way. But it seemed, like I said, we thought it was going to take the effort of somebody elevating their game, when it seemed like they just spread it out and everybody tried to pitch in and do their part. And I think that's kind of what held Tech into this game.
Yeah, I definitely agree there. We spreading. The rush is between six different people, and the receiving end we had 6 different people. Definitely, generally I know we rely on the Haynes kind of crew, but even Jamal Haynes getting 81 yards, Smith getting 68, Haynes King himself responsible for the only 2 touchdowns of the day. Getting yardage, Rutherford getting yardage, Singleton Jr. getting yards, and even the backup quarterback Zach Pyron got some yardage, rushing yardage. And then kind of spreading it out on the receiving end. Singleton had a day with 96 yards, but then Rutherford, Seether, Benson, Leonard, and Haynes even got some receiving yards. So I mean, definitely was a spread out there um, to kind of different people, and you know, it just about worked out on a
Yep.
positive end.
Two quick notes, and then we're going to go into picks because I know we're running low on time now. Aiden Burr kicked 3 massive field goals. One was 45 yards. The other ones were just under that. This is a big game. It's one of the bigger games he's played in his career because he hasn't played all year. And for him to go 3 for 4 in field goals, including kicking a 45-yarder, that says a lot about your program. On top of, I'm looking defender wise. You know how many different defenders had a tackle on this team?
I'm not sure. I hadn't seen that stat, but I'm sure you got it there.
20, 20 different Yellow Jackets had at least one tackle. A bunch of them had 2, 3, all the way up to 8. 20 different players got a tackle on defense. That tells you the rotation is strong. That tells you how deep the defense is.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, again, builds on that whole team effort. We're learning to how to work together as a unit and be able to, no matter where the players go, you got somebody there to tackle. And I mean, 20 different players. I mean, when there's less than that on the field. So,
it was only
you're
like 12
rotating.
Bulldogs. So I mean, it was 12 Bulldogs that got a tackle to 20 Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets, and that just tells you that it was more of a team game for them.
Yeah, definitely.
But let's get into these picks, all the fun games coming up. We're waiting to hear what bowl they get into. I have not heard a single thing. I don't trust anybody's predictions at this given moment. I would say wait till the end of the weekend and start looking at the ESPN polls and some of those people, and you'll start to get an idea of where you can go. Right now, everybody's just making up stuff. But there are a ton of
I've seen 3 different ones for Tech.
Yeah, and it literally could be that or any of 20 more.
Yeah, I mean, we do have like 12. I think we have like 12 or 13 allegiances to bowls for the ACC. So,
yeah,
I mean, it really can't be anywhere.
Exactly. Starting tomorrow night, we've got New Mexico State versus number 24 Liberty. If people watch Hunker Down, they already know my picks in these, but I will just repeat them quickly. New Mexico State versus number 24 Liberty. This is the Conference USA Bowl, Conference USA Championship, aka the future home of my Kennesaw Owls. So God bless them if these teams are still this good next year, because that's going to be crazy. 7 p.m. CBS Sports Network. Liberty is an 11-point favorite. Who you like?
I like Liberty. I mean, Liberty is not a name you're used to hearing in seasons past. I mean, I heard New Mexico State, I believe those. Yeah, Liberty.
And NASCAR.
Liberty. But yeah, I mean, I think New Mexico State. I think they're the Aggies. So I mean, I know I've heard them a good bit, but Liberty University is. It's good to see someone different in that top 25, and I'll take them.
You are a lone dog in that one. Me and Jake both took the Aggies in that one because I think New Mexico State has been playing so great lately that I think they can beat almost anybody. Not in the top probably 12. But we took New Mexico State. We're going to go through these really quickly. You should know who Jake picked in the next one. Number 5, Oregon versus number 3, Washington in the last Pac-12 game possibly of all time.
I'm going to look at Washington, and I know both of them really want to have a look into the playoffs. I've seen some ones with Oregon in, and I've seen some with Washington in. But I'm going to say Washington here has a little stronger, and takes out the Ducks.
I took Washington. He took the Dan Lannings. So,
of course.
Number 2, Michigan puts their Big Ten championship on the line against number 16, Iowa. You know where I'm at.
You know where I'm at too. I mean, I know those Iowa kids love seeing that wave in front of the game, but go maize and blue all day.
Harbaugh's back. I don't think it matters whether he's there or not right now. Only for the championship will it matter. Michigan all the way.
Yep.
Number 18, Oklahoma State versus number 7, Texas in the Big 12 championship, brought to you by Dr. Pepper.
Yeah, I mean, this is a pretty good matchup here. I mean, anytime you get an Oklahoma school versus a Texas school, it's usually a pretty good rivalry. This one, I'm gonna take Oklahoma for this
Hmm. You are the lone dog because Jake took Texas, and I said that was just all right, all right, all right with me.
one.
SMU taking on number 22 Tulane in the American Athletic Championship.
Well, on this one, kind of going, we didn't talk about it a minute ago, but one of the options that I've seen for Tech is to play against SMU in a bowl game, and they are a future ACC teammate of us. So go Tulane, go Green Wave.
Yeah, we both said SMU is going to be distracted about the move, and we both took Tulane. So we're in full agreement on that one. Number
Yep.
14, Louisville versus number 4, Florida State ACC Championship.
I don't know that we even need to spend too long on this one. Tomahawk, Seminole chopping, Seminole chop.
Yep.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure we
All
both
day.
took that. This is not, I did blame Georgia Tech for Louisville having the season they did, because I think if Georgia Tech wins that opening game, I don't think Louisville gets the start that they did. But other than
Yeah.
that their start's about to get stopped. And then finally,
Yeah. See,
oh, go ahead.
sorry, I was gonna say I see FSU taking the ACC championship, getting the top four, and Louisville gets the Orange Bowl.
I can see that. Number 1, Georgia is taking on number 8, Alabama in the house that Arthur built right here down the road from us. SEC Championship. Who you got?
I mean, I don't know once again, who puts Georgia in a so-called neutral site here. I mean, they really got to start putting this in somewhere that the SEC isn't. But
Like Jacksonville?
yeah, exactly. I mean that. I think I heard a country song the other day saying something, calling it Jacksonville, Georgia. As much as
Might as well be.
UGA wins down there. um, I hate this coming out of my mouth, but go Dogs.
Ooh, yep. You guys are in agreement for sure. I went Alabama because here was my theory. Alabama's going to win the SEC title. They're going to sneak in as the number 4 team. The only problem I had with that is I forgot that I picked Hook'em Horns. And if Hook'em Horns wins, they're going to be the 4th team. It's going to be Michigan number 1. It's going to be, I think, Michigan, Georgia, Washington, Texas. It's probably going to be your top 4. I think up until I forgot Texas, I thought Alabama was going to be number 4. They're not going to leapfrog the cattlemen there. So that's, hey, you guys can get mad at me for saying that Alabama's going to win the SEC, but they're not going to make it to the Final Four. Any final comments in the last minute and a half?
I think what I kind of looked at is, I'll say the polls love Georgia too much to not put them number 1 unless Alabama wins. I think that really would be the only way they keep Georgia not being number 1, even if it. I mean, some of the games they've had all year are pretty close, including ours, and they still like, yeah, you're number 1, even when Michigan blows out people. So I'm gonna look at saying number 1 Georgia, number 2 Michigan, number 3 FSU, number 4 Washington.
Okay. Yeah, I think FSU is going to get jumped because they don't have their quarterback. That's and it sucks because this kid that's playing is actually not doing half bad. It's telling you that system is really, really good.
Yeah. I mean, I could see that. But I mean, he has done really well in the last few games. A little close. I mean, hurt the day Jordan Travis got hurt. They went down early to North Alabama, but they were able to come back and take it pretty well. So I think as I continue on, beat Louisville. Don't make it. I mean, make it wide enough. No, I don't mean like a 1 or 2 point, game that should be fine in the Final Four.
Absolutely. Well, this has been Up with the White and Gold. He is GATechJon Watts. I'm Jeremy the Impact York. How about a Go Jackets on the way out?
Go Jackets.